Let's get right into it with a little Philip Rivers news. Yeah, he's still around. Well, he might be coming back around after Daniel Jones tears his Achilles. Anthony Richardson's on the IR, and then Riley Leonard, the rookie, gets injured. According to Ian Rappaport of NFL Network, the Colts are now bringing in Philip Rivers, the 44-year-old quarterback, today to see if he wants to sign with their practice squad. This could be the beginning of a long journey. Peyton, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on Philip Rivers getting the call?
It's just such an amazing story, right? Philip Rivers is actually a grandfather right now. Not many grandfathers are getting workouts from NFL teams right now. I wish mine would. That's pretty cool. But 44 years old, actually pretty young for a grandpa, I guess. But this would be amazing. I feel bad for backup Riley, Riley Leonard though, who strains his knee in the one opportunity he got on Sunday. But that's just part of the game. It's a really physical game, and he goes down. In his first game. But Riley Leonard actually younger than Philip Rivers' oldest kid, by the way.
That's got to be a little awkward. Soupy, is this the best the Colts can do?
I guess so. At the time, I mean, he did play for him for a year. I don't think it was the same coaching staff though when he was there. My question is, he's up for eligibility for the Hall of Fame. So if he plays, does that reset? I got to know that. That's the question I want to know.
It does reset, Raphael. So if you're on the border of making the Hall of Fame and you're Philip Rivers, do you answer the phone or you go, no, I'm good where I'm at?
But is he a Hall of Fame? I guess is that's the main question. He's on my borderline for a Hall of Fame. Is does the Colts don't have phones? They don't have anyone that they can contact in the CFL? I can name a lot of quarterbacks in the CFL that can do the job than a 44-year-old.
Yeah, somewhere Johnny Manziel going, they must not have my phone number. Guys, topic number two. A lot has been made of Notre Dame and missing the college football playoff. So much so that their AD went on the Dan Patrick show and said permanent damage has been done between them and the ACC, where they're not a part of football, but they are in 24 other sports. Peyton, start with you. Is this petty machete or does the Notre Dame AD have a point?
Of course, it's Petty Machete Part 845. I mean, what relationship is Notre Dame even talking about? They're independent, right? But man, these guys did it to themselves. Notre Dame is really starting to bother me. The only two games that they had that were good football games, they lost both of them. You had to win one of those to at least give yourselves a shot, guys. And I do think that the committee kind of messed them up this year by just leading them on so much throughout the season. I think that's where they messed up most this season. But Notre Dame really starting to bother me with the whole Petty Machete.
Soupy, you're a Miami Hurricanes guy. You're right in the middle of all of this. What do you make of the AD's comments with Notre Dame and the ACC?
What kind of relationship yet you have with the ACC? Yeah, you play them a few games a year. Why, if you want to be in the ACC in football, be in the conference. But I know you won't because you just locked in another 4-year deal with NBC and all that money revenue from that broadcast deal. You're getting yourself. You don't have to split it between those conferences. That's why they're not going to try to go into a conference. It's just too much money for them.
Raphael, if there's permanent damage being done with the ACC, where could Notre Dame go if they had to go to a different conference, which you've been calling for?
I think Notre Dame said that on purpose because they don't want to go to the ACC in football. No one wants to play in that garbage conference right now. They want to go to the Big Ten. It's been like since Oregon and all them been there. Notre Dame says, "Hey, if we're going to join a football conference, we want to go there, not the ACC where Clemson can't even do anything with JUCO players or anything transfer portal players. No, Big Ten is where Notre Dame wants to play football."
All right, guys. I know somebody else who wants to play football. Our final topic here on Front Page News. The Browns announced Shedeur Sanders will start for the rest of the season. Nobody happier than yours truly. It's about time in Cleveland. They got it right. Peyton, did they get it right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know it was against the Titans, but wow, 364 yards and three tutties. That's a great day in the NFL. He also averaged almost 10 yards a carry, 3 for 29. I mean, have a day, Shedeur Sanders. Of course, this guy deserves to start. No Browns quarterback has come remotely close to those numbers all year. A great week for him this past week, and I want to see him keep doing it down the road.
Soupy, a showdown against a guy you know very well, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Although he fell to the fifth round, he outplayed the number one overall pick. Were you impressed with Shedeur last week?
I've been impressed with Shador throughout this tenure of him being the starter. He's been better than Dylan Gabriel. The eye test is showing it. And maybe if you let him be behind center in the 2 point conversion, we wouldn't be talking about the Titans beating the Browns. What kind of Yeah, I'm done because I could turn this into a very long tangent.
Well, Rant Wednesday is tomorrow. But listen, I thought I was going to give you the floor for the tangent. Raphael, I don't know what this means for the future of the Cleveland Browns after this season, but for this year, was this the right choice to make?
This was, and he might be QB1A next year, but if he is, he's going to have the shortest leash of a starting quarterback for any NFL team because there's going to be a lot of big names free agent wise coming into the market this year. So he deserves it, but he's going to have a very, very short leash.
And that's actually a great point, Raphael. And thank you for throwing that out there because now you look at, go ahead, Subi.
And we got to remember Deshaun Watson will
Yep.
be back next year. They're paying him all this money. They're going to give him the shot of being the starter.
It's going to be fascinating there in Cleveland. Also, if Shador can just end on a high note, you wonder if there, and I hate to make this about the Bears, is this a Caleb Williams effect where other guys around the league go, I might want to go play with that kid? There's something about playing with Shador Sanders and having the bravado. I know, Raphael, you're shaking your head, but
Cleveland, Cleveland.
if you can bring in the right people around Shador and that coaching staff, I think that there could be a little bit of interest around the league from pending free agents. The Cleveland Browns finally have a good quarterback problem? Question mark. Gentlemen, job well done.